Picture this. You're stopped at a red light, 5 minutes from home, on the same route you drive every single day. For no reason you could explain, your eyes drift up to the rearview mirror and settle on the car 2 lengths back. A gray crossover, completely ordinary. You've passed 10,000 just like it. The light goes green, you pull away. So does it. You make the turn onto your street, and a beat later, it makes the same turn. And somewhere deep in your skull, a quiet voice says, "Wait, but it's been a long day. There's ice cream melting in the trunk." So you tell that voice to relax, you swing into your driveway, and you forget the whole thing before you've even shut the car door. You just ignored the only warning you were ever going to get. Because that car wasn't there by chance. The person inside isn't lost and didn't happen to be going your way. You didn't notice them today for the first time. You noticed them for the third. The first 2 times, your brain quietly filed them as nothing, and that harmless little shrug is exactly what they were counting on. This isn't a movie plot. It's a documented pattern with a name. The deliberate crimes, the follow-home robbery, the carjacking, the break-in that waits for an empty house, almost never begin with a weapon. They begin with watching. Security professionals call it pre-attack surveillance, the stretch of time where someone studies a target, learns the routine, and picks the moment. And most of us walk right through it, because nobody ever taught us what being watched looks like. Most people believe the danger begins the instant a stranger appears at the window or steps out from between 2 parked cars. It doesn't. By then, the plan is already running. You were selected days ago, or hours ago, by someone who saw you first and decided you were worth it. Today I'm going to show you the 3 sightings that make up that surveillance, in the order you'll usually catch them. Sighting number 2 is the one every human being on Earth explains away as coincidence. And sighting number 3 is the one police say means you've run out of time to wonder. You should already be doing something about it. But before we get to the sightings, you have to understand what's really being tracked. The car, the face, the jacket, those barely matter. What matters is what they add up to. When someone runs surveillance, they aren't seeing you the way you see yourself. They're building a map. When do you leave? When do you come home? Same road, same parking spot, same path to the same door? Are you buried in your phone or scanning the street? Do you come home to a full house or an empty one? Every predictable habit hands them another piece of the plan. And here's the one idea that unlocks everything else. A single sighting means nothing. You pass thousands of cars and faces a day. Of course, some repeat. What turns coincidence into a warning is correlation across change. Not the same car twice on one street. The same car outside your office in the morning, then outside your gym that night, across town. When the time changes, the place changes, and the same face still turns up, that isn't chance. That's the thing chance can't explain. So let's walk through it. Sighting number 1 is completely invisible, and it's supposed to be. It's a car parked across from your driveway when you leave for work. A man on a bench near the entrance to your building. A vehicle a few cars back on your commute. On its own, it is pure background noise, one anonymous shape among the hundreds your eyes throw away every hour. Here's why it's dangerous anyway. Not because of what it is, but because of what your brain does with it. Your mind is built to ignore the ordinary. It has to be, or you drown in detail. So the watcher's first job is simple. Look normal enough that you erase them on sight, and you will. Almost every time, you should, because almost every time it really is nothing. Sighting 1 isn't the moment to act. It's the moment to notice. Let it register and leave one small file open in the back of your mind. Because if that same shape comes back, you move to sighting number 2. Sighting number 2 is the one you'll talk yourself out of, and that's exactly why it works. You see the car again, but somewhere else. A different day, a different part of town, and your brain, desperate to keep the world feeling normal, reaches for its most comforting word, coincidence. Small world. Must be a neighbor. Must be someone who works nearby. Strip that comfort away and look at what just happened. The time changed, the place changed, and the same thing appeared in both. That's the exact signature that separates a real coincidence from a pattern. 2 points, far apart in time and space, joined by the same face or the same plates. This is the sighting that decides whether you're imagining it or being followed. So this is where you stop erasing and start confirming. Don't panic. Get specific. Read the plate and memorize it. letters, numbers, say them out loud. Note the color, the make, any dent or sticker that makes it that car, not just a car. You've seen it twice, in two different worlds. Now you watch for a third, which brings us to the sighting that matters most. Sighting number 3 doesn't feel like watching anymore. It feels like company. The car is behind you on your commute, and it takes your exit. It's down the block when you get home, the same one from the gym, from yesterday. 3 times now, across 3 different times and places, the same shape has turned up in your life. This is the most important part of this entire video, so stay with me. Once you've confirmed a third sighting, same vehicle, same person, correlated across changing time and place, you are almost certainly being watched or followed. And the single worst thing you can do is the thing your body wants most. Go home. Do not drive home. Do not pull into your driveway. Do not lead the person who has been studying you to the one place they still don't have, where you sleep, where your family is, with no witnesses and one predictable door. Police and security instructors are blunt about this, and they all repeat a version of the same rule. When you think you're being followed, you never drive to where you're going. You drive to safety instead. Make a few deliberate, pointless turns. 4 rights in a row puts you in a full circle, because no innocent driver follows you around a loop. If the car is still there, you have your answer. Then head for the nearest place with light, people, and cameras. A police or fire station, a busy gas station, anywhere you're not alone. Call someone. Stay on the line. Surveillance needs you isolated, predictable, and calm. Deny it all 3. Now let me be clear, because this matters as much as the rest. The overwhelming majority of the cars behind you are just cars. Real neighbors really do share your route. Real coincidences really do happen. This pattern is not an invitation to suspect every crossover in the city or to drive around scared. It's the opposite. It's a quiet filter in the background, so that on the one day it isn't coincidence, you catch it on the second sighting while you still have room to move. Because here's what almost nobody says out loud. Most people who get followed home felt it before it happened. Something clicked on the second sighting and went cold, and then they talked themselves out of it because the alternative felt paranoid. That flicker of unease isn't paranoia. It's pattern recognition, moving faster than your conscious mind can keep up. It's the best security system you'll ever own, and you've spent your whole life being taught to mute it. Stop muting it. Nobody pulls out of their driveway expecting to be chosen, but protecting yourself here costs almost nothing. It takes a glance at the mirror, a plate memorized, and the willingness to turn the wrong way on purpose while a stranger is still behind you. 3 sightings. Once is nothing, twice is a question, 3 times is an answer. A relaxed person explains all 3 away. A safe person counts them and has already changed course before the third one is finished. If this was useful, do me a favor and hit the like button. It really helps put this kind of safety information in front of more people who need it. And if you want to know the exact spot in a parking lot where you're most likely to be targeted and the one you should be parking in instead, click the video on your screen right now.